Welcome back to another new agent video. Today we're going to be talking about how you can search the MLS and different tips and tricks that you guys can use to more effectively use your time. The MLS is one of the most powerful tools you guys are going to have at your disposal as realtors. So being able to navigate that effectively and quickly might allow you to find some hidden gems for your clients that others who aren't as well versed in searching the MLS might not have access to. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so now that we've logged into the Matrix dashboard, we're gonna wanna hover our mouse over the search section up here at the top toolbar, and then we're gonna have this option to click on quick or residential. So quick search is just gonna be the most common search. It's gonna be the quickest way to get to the search field. The other option you have here is a residential search where you can then choose between that quick search, the detailed search, a rental search, and a hot sheet search. We are going to cover the difference between a quick search and a detailed search. Primarily, the difference is that detailed search section is going to have a little bit more information already built in for search fields. So as you can see down here, we have that view section, location, utilities, occupant type, things like that are already pre-added in for you. So that's what the detailed search option provides to you. That other option, which is the more common one, is that quick search option, right? So when you click on that, as you can see, there's just a slight difference, right? That difference is we don't have those extra fields down below, but you can always go in and add additional search fields to your search criteria. All you have to do if you want to add additional fields to your search criteria is by coming down to the bottom right-hand side where it says add, and you're going to click on that. What that's going to bring up is a list of available fields that you guys can add to your search. So you're going to see all of these options here. Okay, if it's something that is maybe you don't want to scroll through all of this, you can type and search in keywords. So maybe you want to know what the amenities are. You can go like that, click on amenities, add that to your selected field option, and then you go back and it is down here below amenities. So you can start to filter out your searches by amenities moving forward. So let's say you're not 100% sure about the different fields that you need to add to your search. That is totally fine. I'm going to give you guys a little trick on how you can figure out the additional fields that are possible and what get included in those fields. So if you actually go into members.highcentral.com, it's going to bring you to the member website. And then if you go up here to the top where it says MLS and you go to the MLS forms and docs section, you're going to have access to those profile sheets. Now, if you open up one of those profile sheets, the great thing when you scroll down to that townhouse or to that features section, which is usually on page 2, the great news here, you guys, is that all of these headings in black, these are additional fields that you guys can add to your search. So let's say, for instance, your client is looking for a property with PV panels, right? All we have to do here is Control F if you are on a Windows, Command F if you are on a Mac, and then you just type in photovoltaic and photovoltaic, right? I can't spell. Photo V, and you can see the different areas and where those can appear, right? So disclosures as well as inclusions, right? So then you have the ability to then go back into Matrix and choose to add maybe the disclosures field or the inclusions field to see just in case where someone might have checked off those options. So just for the heck of it, we're back in the Matrix system. We're going to go in and add and remove those additional fields. So again, disclosures, we're going to search for it. It's going to pop up for us. We're going to select it and we're going to add it over to the fields we want as a searching option. And then we're going to search for inclusions and add that over as well. Now, you can decide, it's up to you if you want to keep this clean and have barely any search fields in there, or if you want to continue to leave those additional fields in there. If you do want to remove those additional fields, all you have to do is select the field and then click the remove button, and it will move it back over, okay? The other option you have is because if you do have a list of all of the fields you've ever added, but you maybe just want to prioritize them, any fields that you're gonna be highly likely to use, what you can do is click on that specific field and then move them up or down in that list of priorities, okay? And what that's gonna do when you click back is it's going to move the top one to that top field and then follow that second one. So that's how you guys can customize your additional fields section. Now that we have those additional fields added, let's go ahead and run a search. So the first thing we're going to do is start at the top and decide what statuses and date ranges are we looking for. So are we searching for properties that are active, active under contract, pending, sold, hold, canceled, expired, or coming soon? So maybe in this example, I am intending to create an auto email. So I'm going to go ahead and say, show me any active listings or coming soon listings. Notice that it's going to give you a date range. The reason for that is because you can either do a date range or you can do specific dates, meaning let's say I did sold, right? If I didn't want to do 0 to 180 days in the past, I can click on this calendar icon and then actually go in and say, give me from 2021 to 2022 of March, click OK, and that's going to plug that date range in there that way versus it just being the number of days that have passed since then. So those are some options on how you guys can modify and customize your search in that status and date range tab. The next thing you can do is identify which property type you are trying to search in. Now it's automatically going to default to single family and condo townhouse. If you only want one or the other, you can just click on it and it will only include the one. If you want the other one, you can hold down Control and click on that second condo townhouse option. Okay. Now, some other things that people commonly utilize in their search option is going to be price. So some tricks to keep in mind when you guys are looking at price is the fact that these 3 zeros right here are checked. What that's telling you is it's going to add those 3 zeros to your number. So for instance, if you put 500, right, in that field, that's telling the system, search for any properties that are 500,000 exactly. So as we can see right now in the MLS system, to date, active or coming soon properties that are single family and condo townhouse, there are 5 matches that are currently 500,000 exactly. Now, if you're looking for different types of things like show me things that are less than 500,000, you're going to do a minus. And as we can see when we do that, we're seeing that there are 534 matches that are under 500,000. Or maybe we're looking for a range, right? So then we're going to put in 500-800. So what that tells us is that there are 454 matches currently in the MLS system that are between 500 to 800,000 that are active and coming soon. Now, if those are kind of difficult to remember, you guys can always click on this question mark icon or hover your mouse over that question mark icon like I'm doing currently. And what that's going to do for you is it's going to pull up this quick little guide that will give you guys an idea of little tricks that you guys can use for utilizing that field. And these tricks, you guys, they're going to apply to any numeric fields that you see within the matrix system. So that means for pricing, for total bedrooms, for number of total baths, number of parking spaces. That plus and minus idea is going to allow you to do searches that way. Okay, so this next part can be done a few different ways. So people, depending, can search on a building name, neighborhood, region, TMK number, or even draw a map area. So this is where your expertise as the realtor is going to come into play. So if you decide to search by a region, let's say we're going to look in that central region, you are looking at a very broad area, right? So if we go into that map section, you're going to actually see the amount of area that central area is going to cover. So we're looking at that area right there as the central area. And maybe someone who wants to live in Mililani is not going to want to live in Wahiwa or Whitmore Village, right? So this is why it's important you narrow down the specifics of where your client is looking for. So I'm going to go back to that criteria section. So let's say in this example, the client actually does want to look in that Mililani area, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go into that neighborhood field and we're going to start to type in Mililani. And this is the great part about Matrix, okay? It's got that smart feature where it's going to suggest options to you. Now, an option you have here, right, is you can select Mililani area, and then you can add a comma, and then add Mililani Malka, right? And you can do that to cover that area. And we're going to see 10 matches down below. The other option that you have here is you guys can actually go ahead and start to type in Mililani, right? And instead of having to comma, you can add an asterisk. And what that's going to do is tell Matrix to search the system for any neighborhood that starts with Mililan and return those results. So as we can see by doing that, we still have those 10 matches right there for us to apply. Okay, so that is how you guys can search that neighborhood field. Now, for learning purposes, we're going to also show you how to exclude specific areas as well, or specific buildings. So for that, I'm going to go into the results section down below. You can either click on this blue button down here, or you can click on this top tab up here. And that's going to pull up your results. Now, we notice that a few of these areas do have building names. So for just learning purposes, we're going to take out Nob Hill 3 because there are 3 properties in that building. So for whatever reason, let's say our client just doesn't want to live in those Nob Hill buildings. We're going to go to that criteria section. We're going to start to type in that building name of Nob Hill, right? And if we wanted to, again, we can select each one individually. If it was only specifically Nob Hill 3, we can go ahead and go like that. Otherwise, what we can do is if we just don't want any Nob Hill properties whatsoever, we do that asterisk sign, and that's going to remove those 4 options, I believe was the original amount that we had from our list. Oops, I apologize. We are going to not do the asterisk, we're going to do the asterisk, but then put an exclamation point in front of that. Okay, and that exclamation point in front of the building name is going to tell the system, do not pull any results from Nob Hill or anything that has Nob Hill in the title. So that's why we are now down to those 6 matches, since 4 of those matches originally were from Nob Hill. I'm going to leave this screen up just for a second so you guys can review the alphabetical searches. So anything where you have your word and then the asterisk is going to search for anything in the system that starts with that word or those letters. If you were to do asterisk, word, asterisk, that's going to tell the system to pull anything that has those consecutive letters. So if those consecutive letters are word, anywhere in the name. And then that last one, the exclamation point in front of the consecutive letters will say, pull anything that doesn't or exclude these words. And then one of the last little tricks here when you are running your search criteria is these radial buttons. So I'm sure you're going to notice and, or not, okay? If you were to say, select the and button, what that's going to tell the system is show me properties that have both of these different fields selected, right? So example being, maybe we want properties that have a community association pool, and we want properties that have also a dog park. So again, I'm going to control and select that second field because I want both of those fields selected, right? So community association pool and dog park. That's going to tell the system only show me properties that have both of those options. And as we can see, we have 0 matches. Another option we have here is that or button. And what that's going to do is tell the system, I don't need both of these different amenities, but maybe one or the other would be nice. As long as that property has one or these other fields, please show them in my results. Okay. The last option you have is this not option. And what that's telling the system is show me properties that do not have these things, right? So we've got those options there as well. Now, let's say for whatever reason you accidentally selected dog park and you didn't mean to. All you have to do to unselect it is hit that control button again, check that box, and it gets removed from your search options, and you only have that one selected. Now, a lot of these different sections, if you hover over the question mark or you click on the question mark, it is going to give you the little secrets and tidbits on how you can really effectively search the MLS using the different search fields and options that are provided to you guys here. But that is pretty much everything with regarding to running a quick search within the MLS system. We're going to be back in our next video where we're going to show you how to quickly add all of these things together and create your own auto email. But if you do have time, I highly recommend checking out those different options you do have to search within the MLS for lots and land, multifamily, commercial properties, a cross-property search, agent searches, office searches, public records searches, and even if you scroll down to the bottom, open house searches. So please feel free, take a look, really understand how you guys can search the MLS to get the answers that you need for yourselves and for your clients. But thanks for joining, guys. Hope to see you in the next video.